From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Palestinian health officials say the first case of polio has been confirmed in Gaza in a 10-month-old child. It marks the first case of polio in the enclave in the last 25 years. Before the case was confirmed today, United Nations agencies called for pauses in the war between Israel and Hamas to launch a polio vaccination campaign for the 640,000 Palestinian children in Gaza. Meanwhile, the Public Health Agency of Canada says it's keeping watch for any new cases of Mpox, but none have been detected in this country. Sweden and Pakistan say they've each detected their first cases of the strain of Mpox, currently spreading through several countries in Africa. The agency says it's working with Global Affairs Canada and its partners to update risk assessments and travel advice. Alberta Municipal Affairs Minister Rick McIver is promising residents of Jasper who are returning home today that they will receive support.
The town is forever changed, and it will take time to restore, but we are ready to begin the process of reentry. Changes to fire activity or unplanned changes to critical services could still create some problems as folks return to Jasper. So please keep in mind that the situation remains somewhat dynamic.
Residents of the town site are returning 25 days after wildfires cut access and forced the town's 5,000 residents and 20,000 park visitors to flee. While residents can come back, they have also been told to be ready to leave again with 1 hour's notice. A new report by Leading Mobility Canada says the country's public transit systems need a financial lifeline.
Federal and provincial governments have helped cities launch major transit expansions without providing any help to actually operate them. Vancouver's TransitLink system warned in July it may have to cut services in half. Ottawa Mayor Mark Sutcliffe said last week his city may not have the money to launch Ottawa's $5 billion light rail expansion. The report outlines some possible solutions, including levies on vehicles and surtaxes on properties within a short distance of transit stations. Laura Osman, The Canadian Press, Ottawa.
Canada's Immigration Department says the U.S.'s plan to tighten rules for asylum seekers coming from Canada is in compliance with the law. The changes mean people entering from Canada and making an asylum claim will only have 4 hours to consult with lawyers instead of 24. And the former frontman for the band Hedley has begun serving his sentence for sexual assault after Ontario's top court dismissed his appeal.
Jacob Hogarth's legal team says he surrendered into custody before today's ruling was delivered. In a statement, the lawyers say while they maintain Hogarth's trial was unfair, they respect the court's decision and will review the judgment to determine their next steps. Hogarth was found guilty in June 2022 of sexual assault causing bodily harm. He was later sentenced to 5 years behind bars. Jason White, The Canadian Press, Toronto.
This is The Canadian Press. In sports, the Chicago Cubs beat the Toronto Blue Jays 6-5 in MLB action. Meanwhile, in the CFL, the Grey Cup champion Montreal Alouettes are set to visit the West Division leading Saskatchewan Roughriders tonight. The Alouettes enter the contest winners of 3 straight, the first of which came at home against the Riders on July 25th. Saskatchewan, meanwhile, is looking to end a 3-game winless streak coming off a 22-22 tie against Ottawa last week. Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime is off to the third round of the Cincinnati Open tennis tournament after defeating Norway's Casper Ruud today. And despite an Olympic spying scandal that cost them their coach and a 6-point penalty, Canada's national women's soccer team has climbed 2 spots to number 6 in the latest FIFA rankings. Canada defeated France, New Zealand, and Colombia at the Summer Games before falling to Germany in the quarterfinals. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.